Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was sophisticated.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Welcome back.
Hi.
Have you liked and subscribed yet? And the little bell thing?
Hit the bell.
We're going to take a little tangent on the side. We're going to talk about major and minor, two words that you've heard a lot. So before I tell you what they are, in my opinion, what do you know? What do you know about major and minor? What does that mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well, I'm more familiar with minor than I am major.
I don't get the joke.
Let's start again.
Okay.
Okay, give me a start. I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Major and minor.
You have no idea?
Like
okay.
zero. Okay, that's what I'll say.
Great.
All right.
So here's what we're going to do. So first of all, on a technical level, there's different ways that scales can be made, and there are different intervals of semitones and tones. We're don't really want to talk about how to build a scale today, just to know that there are different ways, different groupings of notes will end up making a major or a minor scale. Chords are all based off of scales. So as it turns out, the notes that are in a minor chord are the same as the notes that are in a minor scale. Same for major. The simplest way to describe these is that on an emotional level, and I'm lazy to say this, but this is generally how it is described, major is happy, minor is sad or melancholy.
Oh, okay, I'm familiar with those feelings.
Okay, so, but they do play off. So I'm going to play a major chord. I don't know if this feels happy or sad to you.
I feel happy.
Yeah, you feel happy. Versus the minor, I'll do it in the same key.
I'm a little sadder.
You're a little sadder? So...
Why?
You know what? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know if we're going to find it by researching, so let's just say I don't know. And in fact, this is pretty subjective Western stuff. Okay, I've done some research. So I had always thought that this was one of these nature versus nurture situations where we've just been told since we were born that these types of notes are happy, these types of notes are sad, and that is why major and minor are the way they are. But there is some interesting science to look at as well. Every note that is played produces actually a series of notes called the harmonic series. We only generally hear the fundamental note, which is what we call the note. So if I play a C, plunk, you hear a C, but you're actually hearing a whole series of notes. You hear a C, then you hear another C, an octave above that, and then you hear a G, and then an F, and then an E flat. It just goes up and up and up. This is called the harmonic series. And interestingly, if you look at the harmonic series, it relates pretty closely to how harmony was developed. First we sang in unison, then we had octaves, and then there was fifths, and then fourths. And then once we get to major thirds and minor thirds, we started creating the harmonies and stacking chords together. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to play a couple songs that, okay, the song you're doing right now is... These are all major chords. They're kind of happy. I'm going to play the same song as if it were in a minor key. So it's going to be the same contour of notes.
Okay.
But where I before would be playing these notes, I'm going to play. And this note is what defines the difference between major and minor, as well as it's only two notes difference, but it does change the overall integrity. So in major, minor.
There's a big difference.
It's a big difference. It's only two notes. So at this point, I'm just going to read right from Reddit because it explains it much better than me. And this is from Explain Like I'm 5, and I really like this. Say you have two sounds. One has half the length of the other, and so it fits inside the other twice nice and snugly. The two others are an octave apart, with shorter wavelength being higher. If two wavelengths of one sound line up with three wavelengths inside the other, the sound is a fifth. If the ratio is 3 to 4, it's a fourth. These sounds are still harmonies to us, even though not as much as the octave sound. That is why they're called perfect fifths and perfect fourths. A 4 to 5 ratio gives us a major third, and a 5 to 6 ratio gives us a minor third. So basically, the farther away you get in these ratios, the less harmonious a sound becomes. And that is a nature reason for why a major third would be more harmonious / happy than a minor third. Minor. I mean, it does have that. So this is sort of sonically how it goes. So what I like to do with students is the first thing is I'm just going to play some chords with your eyes closed. Or it doesn't even matter if your eyes are open or closed because you don't know how to play any chords right now. So
I think you're about to enjoy yourself.
I'm about to enjoy myself. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, so first I'm going to play 3 major chords, just to give you the sound of them. One we've been playing. There's another one. There's another one. I guess you could say they have a brighter sound versus the minor. There's a minor. This one does feel very minor-y, doesn't it? Especially because it's come from here. That's used a lot in film scoring, that particular progression. Now that you've heard it, you'll probably notice it. It's sort of it creates a feeling of, I don't know. Well, I guess that's the question. When you hear that, what is your emotional reaction to it? Being in the biz and all.
Well, that is definitely bringing me, it's bringing me not so much down, but I'm holding for a moment. I don't know where things are going to go, but I know that you're tapping in to my not happy parts.
There you go. Well, that's great.
Again.
That's great again. So back to the nurture side, this is kind of interesting, and just to add a bit of historical context, associating feelings with note intervals and chords started in the late Renaissance and really bloomed through the Baroque period and has been associated with René Descartes, who actually dictated that certain intervals, certain cadenzas or instruments should be used to create certain emotions, not only happy, sad, but for torment, despair, pride. But the idea that associating certain intervals with emotion is definitely something that has been around for a long time. Although you go to different cultures and they will be using minor for happy and major for sad. So I think I personally am going to put it to nurture, although nature has some points. Okay, back to it. Okay, so I'm going to play a chord and you just tell me if you think it's major or minor. That's it.
I think that's minor.
That is major. I'm going to do that same chord in a minor to hear the difference.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So there's na, na. Okay, I'm going to do another one.
When you do a minor, it seems it flattens for me.
It does flatten because actually when you build a minor chord, hey, great comment, Daniel.
Hey.
Here's a major chord.
Okay.
And now you can look at it.
Okay.
So there I've got a G, a B, and a D. This is a major chord. If I take the middle note and I put it to this note, what's that note now? This is B.
That's a B minor. That's an A.
It's an A sharp.
A sharp.
Or if I'm at B and I'm lowering the note, it still keeps the same letter name, but instead of it being a sharp, it is now a
B flat.
Right, exactly. So G major, the third note is major. If I take the third of this chord, this is just a regular shaped chord, and I put it down a semitone, that is actually how you build a minor chord off of a major chord. So it's the same thing. That first chord I played, is that.
Yeah.
This is major, and now look, I can take that third right there, and I'm going to put it down to semitone. That's a minor.
I'm getting it.
Okay, well, no, let's do. I'm going to do
That
some easy ones, and I'm going to.
Hey, if you like what's going on, you should like and subscribe.
Yeah.
You should. You should. And there's a little bell thing on the YouTube. You put this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Do the bell thing too, and we're pointing in theory that that's what it's going to be. See you next class.